Hello, everybody. How are you? Welcome to tonight's class. We are going to continue with more of these imperatives with adverbs of manner that we started practicing last class. During last class, we introduced the imperatives, right? These imperatives are something pretty easy to use. These are only sentences that start with a verb because the intention of this structure is to give an instruction, yeah, a direction. As we always have in these exercises, the instructions always start with a verb, right? Like complete the instructions, complete the chart, rewrite the answers, circle, write sentences. They always start with a verb. So you have imperatives, which are basically instructions. We completed exercise number 3 with these verbs in the base form because here we don't have a third person singular, right? When we don't have a third person singular, we don't have doesn't in the negative form, but only don't. We also changed the adjective form to an adverb form. Not every adjective can be changed to an adverb form, or not every adverb ends in ly. Yeah, we have more adverbs that end in different endings. And we also completed exercise number 4 with these adverbs of manner, the way you do things. Welcome, and let's start with exercise number 6. Write sentences with the words in parentheses. Use the simple present or the imperative form of the verbs and the adverb form of the adjectives. Number 1. Jim stretches slowly. Is this number 1 an imperative? Is this number 1 an instruction? No, because it has a subject. An imperative doesn't have a subject. An imperative never goes in a third person singular form. What about number 2? What is the correct order, Janice?
Breathe deeply for 10 minutes.
Yes, breathe deeply for 10 minutes. Gustavo, what about number 3?
Don't breathe heavily.
Don't breathe
Breathe heavily.
heavily. Yes. Maria, what about number 4?
Millie talk quietly on the phone.
Millie talks quietly on the phone. Nayeli, what about number 5? Okay. Gustavo, what about number 5?
Number 5, don't walk quickly after lunch. After lunch.
Yes. Don't walk quickly after lunch. And Janice, what about number 6?
We listen carefully to our teacher.
To our teacher. Check that number 2, number 3, and number 5 are imperatives because they start with a verb in an affirmative form or in a negative form. With an imperative, we don't have third person singular. That doesn't exist. An imperative is an instruction, okay? Kind of an order. And number 1, number 4, and number 6 are not imperatives because they have a subject. When you have a subject, you have to conjugate the verb, which in this case is stretches, third person singular, talks, third person singular, or listen, plural, not third person singular, right? Instructions. Now, your homework was to answer exercise number 7. Answer the questions with your own information. Did you answer these questions? How could you give me the 3 answers together? I mean, what if you don't answer each of these questions separated? For example, do you talk slowly or quickly? You only have to choose between these two, slowly or quickly.
Slowly.
So you can say,
Do you talk slowly?
I talk slowly. Yeah, not slowly like, hello, my, no, right? But kind of in a regular way. Irma, do you drive quickly or carefully?
I drive carefully.
Carefully. Gustavo, do you walk quietly or noisily?
I walk quietly.
Check, we have this quietly, kind of in a 2 different ways. For example, when you walk quietly because you don't want someone to listen to you walking, so you walk like this. Yeah, quietly. Or quietly, let's say that you don't kind of do this step by step, that someone listens to you when you're coming. Yeah, so you don't exaggerate it, but you just walk normally, let's say, or quietly, no sound when you walk. Yeah, or intentionally you walk like this, so people don't listen to your steps. You can answer these 3 questions separately. Yeah, separately. But what if I don't ask you these 3 questions? So just pretend you are going to inform only, and you can say, I talk slowly, drive carefully, and walk quietly. Just in case you want to know, yeah? In only one sentence. Did you guys write something different from the examples we wrote?
No.
Okay, these are kind of very simple questions, but in case you wrote something different and you want to check if that is correct or not, please let me know. Now, let's introduce more vocabulary. Check, I'm going to stop sharing this so I can show you the whiteboard. And see. Write as a title, health problems. As health problems, we have backache. Backache. Some people exaggerate this more and say backache, backache, or backache. We can add ache to a part of your body so you show you have a pain in that part of your body. Yeah? Backache. No backache. No, 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 no. Backache. Ah, backache. Yeah, it's pretty uncomfortable, backache. Or a cold. When you have a cold, you speak like this. Oh, I'm sorry, I have a cold. And you sneeze all the time, like achoo, sneeze. Yeah, when you have a cold. Oh, so I hope you're okay. A cold. Or you may also have a cough with F, cough, a cough. Yeah, a cough. Or an earache, earache, oh, earache, here, yeah, not here, but here, yeah, here, in the inside, an earache. Or a fever, when you touch your front head and you're hot in this part, just so you check the fever. You can also use a thermometer. Some people use it here or in your mouth. And then you have 39 degrees Celsius, I'm talking about. Yeah. Fahrenheit are in the United States. Yeah. That can be different. So a fever. Ooh. When you have a fever and a cold together, when you have a fever and a cold together, then that is not a simple cold anymore. But you have the flu. The flu. When you have a cold and a fever together, then you have the flu. I'm sorry. Or a headache. A headache. Yeah, this is pretty uncomfortable. A headache. Or you may also have a sore throat. A sore throat. Listen to this. A sore throat is when you have pain here, when you want to swallow your meals. When you want to swallow it, you kind of feel pain here and you do this. Yeah, because you have a sore throat. And when you have a sore throat, you speak like this. I'm sorry, but I have a sore throat and I cannot speak. Oh, it's the worst thing ever. Sore throat. Or a stomachache. Remember, it's not stomach. No, 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 no. Stomach. Stomachache. Stomachache. Or a toothache. Toothache. Here, right? It's like, oh, I have to go to the dentist. Yeah, because I have a toothache. Yeah. Do you have any questions on any of these health problems we have in this list? Okay. Check that when you have any of these health problems, you can say how you feel. Saying how you feel. When you say how you feel, you can say, oh, I'm not feeling well. I'm not feeling well. Or, oh, I don't feel so good. I don't feel so good. Or, ugh, I feel awful. Awful. I feel awful. Yeah? I'm not feeling well. I don't feel so good. Or I feel awful are the same. Teacher, but what is the meaning of awful? The same. When you have a backache, when you have a cold, a cough, an earache, a fever, the flu, a headache, a sore throat, a stomachache, A toothache, you can say, I'm not feeling well. I don't feel so good. I feel awful. Yeah? The three are exactly the same. If you listen to someone saying, I'm not feeling well, I don't feel so good, or I feel awful, you can wish someone well. How can you wish someone well? Well, pretty simple. By saying, take it easy, or get well soon. Yeah? I'm pretty sure you've heard this one before. Or, I hope you feel better. Take it easy, get well soon, or I hope you feel better. Yeah? Any of these three. So, if you listen to someone saying, oh, I'm not feeling well, you can say, take it easy. Oh, I don't feel so good. Get well soon. Oh, I feel awful. I hope you feel better. These three are exactly the same. Exactly. Yeah? You can also use take it easy when someone is exaggerating too much. Yeah? When someone is exaggerating too much. Maybe the person is overreacting to something. It's like, no, no, why is this happening to me? Then you can say, woo, 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 take it easy. Take it easy. It's like, calm down. Yeah? You can also use it for this. But talking about health problems, you can use it to wish someone well. Okay? Do you have any questions on any of these three expressions? Okay. Let's use them in the exercises. Complete the puzzle with words for health problems. What's the mystery word? Look at picture number 1. We have headache. What about picture number 2? What is it?
Backache.
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 Backache. Yes.
Fever.
What about number 3?
Fever.
Fever. Or a fever, right? What about number 4?
Is the
Toothache. To take.
Toothache.
Toothache.
Tooth.
tooth.
What about number 5?
Flu.
Flu.
If we write flu,
Cold.
this we were missing one space and no.
Oh,
Cold.
Cold.
Cold. Cold.
Cold.
Cold.
If we combine a fever and a cold, then you have the flu. What about number 6?
Is stomachache.
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 Stomachache. Stomachache. What about number 7, the last one?
How?
The throat. Throat.
Sore
Short throat.
throat.
Sore throat.
Sore throat.
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 Throat. And T at the end. What's the mystery word?
Headache.
An
Earache.
earache. Earache. Yeah, here. Oh, an earache. Yeah? Okay. So now you can relate it to some images. Now, complete the conversation with 2 different expressions from the box. For example, Hi, Pat. How are you? I'm not feeling well. What's wrong? I have a bad cough. Cough. That's too bad. What would you say after this?
I
Well,
hope, I hope,
or
I
get
hope
done.
Yeah,
you
I
feel
hope you
better.
feel better.
Feel better.
I hope you feel better. Get well soon.
Get good, son.
Take it easy. Yeah, any of those three are exactly the same. B. Hey, Tim, how are you?
I don't feel so good.
Or I feel awful.
I don't feel so good.
I don't feel so good. Or I feel awful. Or I'm not feeling well are exactly the same. What's wrong? I want to know what's the problem. Yeah? I have the flu. So that person has the fever and a cold together, right? Oh no.
I hope you feel better.
Get well soon.
I hope.
Or
Get
take it easy.
well, take
Take
it easy.
Take it
Yes.
easy.
Just to vary this information, right? Get well soon. I hope you feel better. Or take it easy are exactly the same. Okay? Well, this was just a little conversation so we could write these expressions. Let's add more vocabulary. Check. We're going to write healthy habits as a title. Healthy habits. For healthy habits, we have eat a balanced diet, wash your hands, protect your skin, lift weights, go for a walk, exercise daily, get enough sleep, eat a good breakfast. Eat a balanced diet is when you eat maybe vegetables, fruit, meat, protein, yeah, dairy, not only pizza, 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 no, but you balanced your diet. You eat vegetables, fruit, water, yeah. Wash your hands before you eat, after you go to the bathroom, yeah, at least. Protect your skin with sunscreen, yeah, that liquid you use on your skin so you don't get tanned is protect your skin from the sun, yeah. You use sunscreen. Or lift weights when you go to the gym and you're like, ah, lift weights, yeah. Go for a walk to the park, yeah. You just go and walk, and relax, yeah. Exercise daily. You can exercise daily by lifting weights or go for a walk, yeah. Different ways for exercising. Get enough sleep. Check that here. Sleep is not the verb. Here, get is the verb. Sleep here is a thing. Yeah? So get enough sleep. How many hours would you consider is enough sleep? How many? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9?
8.
7 or 8.
Yeah, we could consider 7, 8, or maybe 9 if you have time. Congratulations. Get enough sleep. Yeah? Eat a good breakfast. It's kind of close to eat a balanced diet. When you eat a good breakfast, you may drink an orange juice, some scrambled eggs, maybe a toast. Yeah, you have something healthy and enough for you to start working in your at your job, right? In the morning. Okay. Do you have any questions on any of the healthy habits we have in this part?
No, teacher.
Okay. Now check. We are going to use them with how questions. Check. I'm going to erase them. How questions. For how questions, we have how often do you go to the gym? For WH questions, we may have different and a lot of options with WH questions. And we have even more. How often do you go to the gym? 3 or 4 days a week. How often do you go to the gym? 3 or 4 days a week. How long? How long do you spend at the gym? About an hour. When you use about, you calculate. Yeah? About an hour. It can be more than an hour or less than an hour. How well do you follow your diet? How well do you follow your diet? Very well? Not very well? For example, not very well or only well. More examples. How healthy are your eating habits? How healthy are your eating habits? Somewhat healthy. What do you consider is the meaning of somewhat healthy? Do you remember what is the meaning of somewhat? Check. When you use somewhat in a sentence, is like this, somewhat healthy. Somewhat can be close to a little. Ah, somewhat healthy. I eat pizza, I eat hamburgers, I drink soda. Yeah? So, well, I eat vegetables once in a while. So, somewhat healthy. How many meals do you eat a day? How many meals do you eat a day? 5 small meals. 5 small meals. We have 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah? But you may have more. In this case, they have 5 small meals. And the last one, how much sleep do you get? How much sleep do you get? Quite a bit. Do you remember what is the meaning of quite a bit? Okay. We have somewhat, right? Like this. But quite a bit can be like this. Yeah? Somewhat like this. And quite a bit can be like this. So how much sleep do you get? Quite a bit is good. Okay. So lucky you, right? From these questions, do you have any questions? Okay. Let's practice. Let me go back to the whiteboard, to the book, sorry. How healthy are you? Put the letters in the correct order to make phrases about healthy habits. Number 1 is eat a balanced diet. What about number 2?
Protect
Protect
your
your
skin.
skin.
Okay. Protect
Protect your skin.
your skin. Gustavo, what about number 3?
Eat a good breakfast.
Eat a good breakfast. Jenny, what about number 4?
Get enough sleep.
Get enough sleep. What about number 5? Nayeli,
Um, exercise daily.
exercise daily.
Daily.
What about number 6, Gustavo?
Number 6. I don't know. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Jenny, what about number 7?
Go for a walk.
And number 8, Nayeli?
Lift weights.
Lift weights. These are healthy habits. Let's use them in exercise too. Look at the pictures. How often do you do these things? Write sentences about your habits using some of the phrases from exercise 1. And always, usually, hardly ever, or never, you are going to use these the adverbs of frequency, so you express the how often you do them. Yeah, you do these things. For example, I usually eat a balanced diet. What about number 2? Well, number 1 first. Jenny, how often do you eat?
Eat a balanced diet.
Mhm. How often do you do that? Always, usually, hardly ever, or never?
Usually.
Usually.
I
So
usually eat balanced diet.
I usually eat a balanced
A balanced diet.
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 Yes, a balanced diet.
Okay.
Nayeli, what about number 2? How often do you lift weights?
Hardly ever.
Okay, I hardly ever lift
Lift weight.
weights. How about number 3? How often do you get enough sleep?
Me?
Yeah,
What was the question?
how often do you get enough sleep?
Mm, I sometimes.
Okay.
I always sleep in the night.
But check, the question is, how often do you get enough sleep? We were talking about this enough sleep that is 7 hours, 8 hours, or maybe 9 hours. So, how often do you get enough sleep considering that you sleep for 7 hours, 8 hours, or 9 hours? How often? Maria, do you want to give another example for number 3 or number 4? How
Number
often do you
4.
eat a good breakfast?
I always eat a good breakfast.
Perfect. Always eat a good breakfast. What about number 5, Janice? How often do you wash your hands?
Oh, I always wash my hands.
My hands. Yeah, right. After you go to the bathroom, before you eat something, after you take public transportation, blah, blah, blah. Gustavo, how often do you go for a walk?
I always go for a walk.
Perfect. You can change the adverb of frequency, right? These are only some examples. For you, eat a balanced diet may not necessarily be usually, right? But maybe you can say, no, teacher, to be honest, I hardly ever eat a balanced diet. Yeah. Or, no, teacher, for me, I always eat a balanced diet. Yeah. Or maybe lift weights. Maybe for you, if you go to the gym, always doesn't mean every day. Yeah. But maybe every time you exercise or every time you go to the gym, you lift weights. So you can say, for me, teacher, always. I always lift weights. So you may change the adverb of frequency. Yeah? That is the only thing you are going to change. What about getting enough sleep? Oh no, teacher. I hardly ever get enough sleep. I sleep for about 4 hours or 5 hours, so I hardly ever get enough sleep. Yeah, you can change the adverb of frequency of every sentence. These are only examples, and the only thing you can change is the adverb of frequency. Okay, do you have any questions until now?
Nothing.
Okay, wait just a second. Spilled some water. Okay. Now let's practice these how questions. Complete the questions with how long, how many, how much, how often, and how well. For example, how many? How many vegetables do you eat at dinner? Not many. What's question number 2? If the answer is for about 30 minutes. According to the examples we wrote, what do you think is the answer?
Oh,
Janice?
How long?
How
How long do
long?
you walk in the mornings?
Yes. How long do you walk in the mornings? For about 30 minutes. What about number 3, Nayeli?
How often do you play soccer?
Well, the answer is pretty well. So how
how
often doesn't give you the
Uh,
answer pretty well.
how well?
how well?
How well? How well do you play soccer? Pretty well. Isai, what about number 4? 10 meals.
Um, how much? No. How much or how often
In
meals
this
do you
case,
cook
that
a
would
week?
be how many, yeah? Because we have a number, which is a plural number. How many meals do
Do
you
you
cook
cook?
a week? 10 meals, yeah? How many? Gustavo, what about number 5? 2 or 3 cups?
How often?
Here we're not saying every day or every morning or hardly ever,
How
but
many?
2 or 3 cups, yes. If check in the answer, we have 2 or 3 cups. Yeah. Here we could consider how many if we consider only the answer. But in the question, we don't have the number of cups, but coffee. So in this case, that would be how much. Because in the question we don't have the number of cups, but coffee only. Yeah? How much coffee do you drink each day? 2 or 3 cups? Maria, what about number 6?
How often do you do karate?
How often do you do karate?
Teacher, I want a question.
Mm.
In the number two, also can be how much?
Not how much. Because well, you could use how much only if we had time here. Like how much time do you walk in the mornings? Yeah. Only if we had time, then you could use how much. But in this case, since we don't have time, we have how long only. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Mm. Elizabeth, what about number 7? For about an hour.
How long?
Okay. How long do you do yoga? For about an hour. What about number 8, Jenny?
How often do you sleep do you get?
Um,
Oh, how
it,
many?
how we wrote a different example in the examples. It's not how often do you sleep or how often sleep do you get, because we have the noun sleep here. In that case, if we didn't have sleep, then you could say, how often do you get enough sleep? Yeah, the structure would be different. But since we have sleep here in this order, we cannot use how often, but how much sleep do you get? Yeah, which is the example we wrote. How much sleep do you get? Quite a bit. How much sleep do you get? Quite a bit. Yeah, okay. We're going to use these examples to number 4. And with this, we're going to finish. Check. Look at Greg's answers to an online health quiz. Write the questions. Are you healthy? Choose the answers that best describe your habits. How often do you eat breakfast? I eat breakfast every day. Yeah, how often? Every day. If the answer is, I follow my diet pretty well, what is the question?
How well?
Fanny?
I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
Is how well
How
do you
healthy?
follow your diet?
How,
Okay, can you please repeat, Fanny?
yes.
How well do you follow your diet?
Yes. How well do
Okay.
you follow your diet? I follow my diet pretty well. Gustavo, what about number 3? If the answer is I exercise daily, what is the question?
How often? How often do you go? Do you
What is the verb in the answer?
exercise?
Exercise. How often do you exercise? I exercise daily. Thank you. Janice, what about number 4? If the answer is I drink a lot of water.
How much water do you drink?
How much water do you drink?
I drink a lot of water.
Perfect. Nayeli, what about number 5? If the answer is I don't get much sleep, what's the question?
How much sleep do you get?
How much sleep do you get? Jenny, what about number 6? If the answer is I wash my hands 3 times a day, what's the question?
How many how many times do you wash your hands?
Yes, check here. You can also say how many times a day, yeah, to be more specific. How many times a day do you wash your hands? Yeah, you can say how many times a day do you wash your hands? Or we also have a second option. The option can be,
How often
how often
do you wash your hand?
do you wash your
Your hand.
hands?
Yes.
Yes, both are the same. Both can give you the answer. I wash my hands 3 times a day, right? For number 7, my eating habits are somewhat healthy. What's the
How
question?
healthy are your eating habits?
How healthy are your eating habits? Habits. This kind of a soft habits. If the answer is I spend 4 hours a day at the gym, what's the question?
How long do you spend hours at the gym?
How many?
How long?
How long do you? How long a day?
Well, check. You can have how long do you spend at the gym? Yeah, and that is correct.
Okay.
Or you can also say,
How many time do you spend at the gym? Yeah, every day.
in this case, that would be how much time?
How
Yeah,
much?
or how many hours? Yeah.
Mm.
But in this case, the most common would be how much time do you spend at the gym? Yeah. How long do you spend at the gym or how much time do you spend at the gym? It's the same. The same happens with number 6. How many times a day? Yeah. This is a count noun. How many times? But time in general cannot be considered a count noun. You can count hours, you can count minutes, you can count seconds, but not time, not the word. Yeah. So grammatically talking, we would use how much time or how long, which is basically the same. Okay. Copy this, read it out loud, close your eyes and say what you can remember, but don't skip practice. Okay. Tomorrow we are going to continue practicing this and a lot more because we have more vocabulary, but we're also going to focus on a conversation. So that would be it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much. And see you tomorrow for the third class of the week already. Have a great evening.
Thank you,
Thank you,
teacher.
teacher.
You too.
Teacher, have a good
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye.